Welcome to Conversations with Celena, the podcast where we discover inspiration, motivation, and information to help you live your best life. I'm your host, Celena, aka Sunshine, and each week we'll dive into conversations with guests who share their testimonies, insights, and advice. We'll explore topics that uplift, encourage, and empower you to be the best version of yourself you can be. So tune in and let's have some fun while we explore all that life has to offer. Keep it smiling, sunshine, and let's go. Hey, sunshine. Welcome to another episode of Conversations with Celena. We are here to add to your listening pleasure, inspiration, motivation, and information to help you live your best blessed life. I'm your smiling host, Sunshine, and we're going to get right on into tonight's episode. I know if you saw my Facebook and Instagram, you saw that I just advertised this. This is just how hot off the press this young man is, and he is here tonight to share and to help you and I with our credit. I want to welcome to the stage. I'm gonna let him tell you about himself because this, like I said, it's hot off the press, y'all. Mr. LaMarcus Collins of the Collins Academy. Welcome to the stage. Woo, woo.
Hey.
Thank you so much for joining me.
No problem. Thank you for having me. Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, listen, I saw you and all the expertise that you and your team have, and I really wanted you to come over here because you are the subject matter expert when it comes to finances. And because this was Financial Wellness Awareness Month, you know, we're still in January. It was very important that I got this information out there. So I'm going to turn it over to you and just let you tell us a little bit about yourself, and then whatever God put on your heart to share with us tonight, we're ready to receive it.
Okay. Well, my name is LaMarcus. As she stated, I'm the founder and owner of a financial literacy company called the Collins Academy. I currently have about 27 employees. I have 2 locations. Looking to expand coming into the second quarter of 2025. That's pretty much the gist of it. I'm more so behind the scenes. I don't really do too much, but I'm here to give you guys any answers, any tips, or any questions I can answer or help you guys with. That's what I'm here for. I'm here with Sunshine. I'm just really here for her. So anything she wants
thank
me,
you.
I'm just gonna give it
so
to you.
Much. So I know I saw one of your videos. It was just saying how you could increase your credit, like not in 6 months to 3 months, but more like 30 days. And then it also was talking about the LexisNexis and how they have all of your information and some of the things that you can do. So basically, I just want you to share, if you're just getting started, what can you do? Like if you're having trouble with your credit or you getting denied and you're like, I don't know where to start, what to do. That's kind of like where I want you to start. And then maybe at another date, we can go to the next step or something like that.
Okay. So pretty much if you're somebody that's just trying to start out and you don't want to hire anybody, you want to fix your own credit and take the traditional route, the first thing you want to do is you want to pull a copy of your credit report from all 3 of the consumer reporting agencies, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. And once you have those, you pretty much want to just go through all 3 of them. You want to lay them out, on a table, on a desk, get your highlighter out, your pen, and you want to just go through each report. And what you want to do is you want to check and see the personal information on them. So, your name, address, employer, if they have a telephone number listed on there. What you want to do is you want to update that information to the most current information that you have, because some people's credit reports have addresses going back to 10, 20 years ago. People move around a lot, go from different places. Some people have their college address on their credit report. and things of that nature. So what you want to do is you want to update all that information and get that removed, and that's going to help you in the long run because these accounts that you're going to eventually put in dispute or want to file disputes on, they're attached to these addresses. And so one way to kind of like put it in your favor is if these addresses are not being reported on your credit report, that's kind of like how can anything else be attached to my credit report attached to this address. So next thing you want to do, you want to freeze the secondary bureaus, and those are the bureaus that you mentioned: LexisNexis, Sage Stream. It's another one, Innovis, Clarity Services, and all those companies house all your information from the time you were born. So they have everything. They have the year your birth, the year your social security number was given to you, all of that. You know what I mean? And so once you go and you freeze those, now you want to put your disputes in. And the purpose of freezing those accounts is when you file your disputes with the major bureaus, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, they're going to go to the secondary bureaus because those are the people who are housing all of your information. So when you say, oh, this Capital One account is not mine or this account is negative, they take your dispute and then they go to the secondary bureaus and they verify with them. If they can verify with the secondary bureaus, they're going to send you back a notice stating like, hey, we got this back verified. This account is going to stay on your credit report. By freezing those bureaus, when those first credit bureaus go to the secondary bureaus, now that the secondary bureaus are frozen, they can't pull anything. They have no information to verify the information that you are disputing. So by law, they have to remove it because it's inaccurate information. It's unverifiable information, I should say. It's not inaccurate, it's unverifiable.
Mm-hmm.
That process is more of a 90-day process because sometimes they send you star letters, they go back and forth with you, and by law they have a time frame of 30 days. So just given if it takes 30 days, you have to send a second round and then a third round, which is why it comes out to be around 90 days. Now when you go in and you were speaking about how I speak of different methods of how you can expedite that process and speed up that process, it's several different ways you can do that. You can go through disputing with the CFPB, which is the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. You can dispute with the OCC, which is the Office of Comptroller of Currency, and they deal with companies that have assets over $10 billion. So that's pretty much all the major banks and credit card companies that people use. And when you dispute with them, by law, they had 15 days to respond. So that right there cuts your time frame and short, cut it in half of a time that you're going to get a response, or by the time you're supposed to get a response. There's just so many steps when you do these disputes in order to make these people compliant. Because if you don't send these letters certified mail, then there's no track record. Of course, you can write in your notes, oh, hey, I sent this off January 1st. They should get it by January 5th. 30 days should be February 5th, But the credit bureaus are crafty. That's why they're put in all this litigation now and being sued. So they'll say, we didn't get your letter. They'll say, oh, we just got your letter today. They'll say, oh, we just got it yesterday. So when the whole time they really had it already for 30 days, but you have no track record. When you send a certified mail, you get a proof of receipt. So you'll know when they got it. They know that you know when they got it. And that's when the clock starts ticking. And if they don't respond within a certain time, then that's when you send out that next dispute letter. And that is basically saying you didn't respond by law within a certain time frame. So by law, you have to remove these items. That cuts the time frame down a little bit there. Another method that I have that we are implementing within like the last few months is the data breach. And this basically cuts that time down from 15 to even shorter. Because there's a law within inside the FCRA that states by law you have to remove and block certain information that I dispute within 4 days. So yeah, and that's a law. So if you send in all the documentation and you meet all the criteria for that dispute and you mention these codes and laws, they have to do what the law states. A lot of people go through the steps, and they have some things, they have some of the steps taken care of, but they don't do them all. And they're like, well, I did everything, like they didn't verify it, or they didn't send this, but you didn't put the code in that states they have to remove it within 4 days. So although it may get removed, it just may take 30, 60, 90 days because you didn't specify exactly which law, which rule you wanted, to be implemented in that dispute. So that's how we speed it up. So the data breach was the Equifax data breach. About 8 billion people, Social Security number was affected inside this data breach. And all you have to do is go to Equifax's website. You can enter your information in and see if you were part of this breach. They were sending out checks. I think they did a settlement for $425 million. And so with that settlement, yeah, they were sending out people checks to everybody that was affected, and then also giving you 4 years free credit monitoring service from all three of the credit bureaus. Now that's all fine and dandy, but the main thing is that you can use this data breach to your advantage because again, with inside the FCRA, there are laws. Inside the consumer law, it states that if you're a part or affected by a data breach, then these items have to be removed from your credit report. So again, everything just goes back to consumer law and learning, the Fair Credit Reporting Act and and being consistent. Because even if you can call some of these places too, it's not everything has to be done by mail or online. I've done things over the phone. I've done things through email. I mean, I have got things off of someone's credit report the same day that it was placed on there, like that quick. And again, it was this time I'm speaking about because it doesn't happen often. But I mean, I get them removed quick. But this one time in particular, it was a collection company. And collection agencies, if you say certain things like cease and desist all communication with me, okay, credit bureaus think that you don't know what you're talking about. And most people don't know the definition of cease and desist all communication, all means of communication. I'm sorry, that's the actual technical word of it in the law. And what that means is all means is any means. So my credit bureau, my credit report is a means of communication. So if I'm telling you and I'm using this law, cease and desist all communication, all means of communication, and then you still report on my credit report, you just broke the law. That's how you get that removed because, again, the credit bureaus and collection agencies aren't thinking that you're smart enough to know, oh, his credit report is a means of communication when it is. And once you start using these laws against them, they backtrack, especially collection agencies because they already are collecting on debt illegally. Um, and yeah, that's just basically how you can go from 90 days to a 30-day to a 7 to 21 day. It's all about how you leverage it, how you word it, and sending those letters off certified mail to expedite the process.
So I did have a question, and you may have hit it and I missed it. So whenever you are getting your credit reports, is it at the annualcreditreport.com? Is it a specific website
So,
that we should go to?
yes, I mean, you can use any of them. But if we're here talking about what we're doing, I'm going to endorse my company. We have our own. So if you go to my Instagram and you go to my bio, you can click the link in my bio. I don't know the exact www dot, but you can go there and you'll be able to see all three of your credit reports for a trial period for $1. And then if you decide to sign up, it has three different tiers. I think it's $19.99, $29.99, and $39.99.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, but with the annual credit report, you're entitled to a free credit report once a year through them. So yes, you can go there and get your credit report once a year. But again, if we're talking in credit and we're talking about, financial literacy and trying to leverage your credit, trying to get other people's money, OPM, finance and loans, banks and business, you want to check your credit report more than once a year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I check my credit report almost every day, and I know it's nothing like but I just because I check it because I'm trying to get I'm in the high 800s right now, but I'm trying to get to like a certain number, so I'm always on it like that. Like, did I get 2 points? And it just when you're in the 800s, it only goes like a little bit. It's like, oh, you went up 1 point today, you went up 4 points. It's like so, but even when I when I wasn't checking my credit report in like 2018 and 2017 when I was in college and things like that, I had a bad credit and I wasn't checking it, and that's one of the reasons why, because I didn't even know what was on there. And again, they had wrong addresses, they had incorrect spelling of my names, and all these things play into the law because there's a law that states by law all three credit reports have to have 100% accuracy, not 99% accuracy, not 80% accuracy. It has to be 100% accurate across all three. And I mean, I tell everybody, all credit reports have at least one error in it, at least. So, check those reports, get the circling, highlighting, and then you go from there.
Okay. I do have a question over here. It says, "What can felons do to block rental companies from seeing criminal records?"
What can felons do to block rental companies? Well, okay. So I don't know if this is the exact thing that can block that to answer your question, but there is a place that you can. I don't know it off the top of my head, but if you go on Google and just start searching, or even YouTube, I tell people YouTube University is a great thing, and just type in things like how to hide my record or how to block my information from being seen, and within your credit report you can do this through one of the credit monitoring services, and through Smart Credit, they allow you to do this. So they'll run what's is called a back market or black market check on your information, and it'll tell you like, oh, your information was leaked in this, or we found you inside of People Search, and you can go on there and you opt out. So for him or her, for the question, you just want to opt out of everything. Stephanie Hall, you want to opt out of everything that you ever submitted your information to in the past. If you can go back to your email account, I recently did this about 2 years ago because my email was just coming through with all these emails and I just wasn't even checking them. So my inbox would just have thousands of unanswered emails. I would just go in and just click on them and click unsubscribe, unsubscribe, unsubscribe. So you want to unsubscribe from everything and then go to this, like I said, go on Google and figure out how you can opt out of everything. And also you can do that with those secondary bureaus. So you know how you get random letters to your house saying, oh, apply for this credit card, apply for this. You can opt out so that you don't get offers, so that these people don't share your information to even banks or credit card companies. And that's a way for you to hide that information. Another way you can do it, that's about an eviction. Someone else asked me. This is about a felony record. But if you go online and you can type in your name and you see anything that has to do with your name in a rental property, you can click on it, and then it will give you steps on how to remove that person or that tenant from this document. But again, I don't know the exact ways and term, but I definitely know you can. If you just Google that same way you just asked me that question, you'll get some resources.
Mm-hmm. I know. I know that recently we did a hey girl, we did a what was it called? A pledge loan.
Oh, I'm sorry. Before I cut you off, someone just commented on my side and told me that for them, he said YouTube, how to opt out of secondary reporting for rent. He said he believes the person's page name is Derek Whitehead. So thanks for that, Friar. But yeah, you can go ahead. I'm sorry about that,
Thank
Sunshine.
you, Fryer.
Yes.
So we did a pledge loan, which is basically just a secure loan, and that did help the credit score. It was through like Navy Federal, and you just take it out
Yep.
and you pay some back, and I mean, that increases your credit score as well
Absolutely.
if you're able to do something like that. And it doesn't even have to be a big amount; like it could be like $300, $400, something like that, and you just borrow against your own money, and that helps boost your credit as well.
Yep.
So that's
And
a
there's other companies like that outside of it's a company that I'm partners with as well, called Self, like Self SELF, and it's pretty much the same thing. You open up an account with them, you deposit the money in there, they'll send you a credit card in the mail, and then your credit limit is the amount that you deposit on there, and so that is reports to all three of the credit bureaus. Um, and another way people can boost their credit, it's a bunch of ways. Um,
Mm-hmm.
a company called Rent Reporters. A lot of people don't know about this, and also Rental Karma. You can date back your rent. So, say if you have a landlord and you've been renting for 10 years, you can sign up for these companies, go back 10 years, and they'll report your rental history on your credit report. I seen people get 75 plus points increase off of adding just their rental history to their credit reports. Um, and pretty much the same thing, like you said, about going to the bank and even like self. We call those trade lines. Anything that's being reported on your credit report is a trade line. So you can purchase trade lines. Our company sells them, and that's all Rent Reporters is. It's another trade line that is being added to your credit report. So it's essentially you're piggybacking off of someone's great credit and great payment history. So, like, say for instance, if I was to give two of my credit cards to somebody, they will see a significant increase because I had these cards for 20 plus years. I have a perfect payment history for 85 months or so, and all they would get all that positive history. They wouldn't get to use the actual card. They wouldn't get to use the actual funds, but it will boost their credit score. And when a lender goes to look at their credit report, they'll say like, "Oh, okay, we see that you have these 10 accounts, and we see you have a high limit account." That's the point of adding trade lines. When you want to go make a purchase, or if you're looking to go get funding, you want to have your credit report being as beefy and as spicy as possible. So when they see it, they see all these seasoned accounts. They see that you got accounts that were open 20 years ago. They see you got high limit accounts for 20,000, 30,000. Because what they're going to do, if you go to a bank, if you go to get funding, even if you have a 700 credit score, but you only have 3 accounts on your credit, you're not going to get funding. Everybody's like, well, I got good credit. I'm in 700s. You got 4 accounts. And out of those 4 accounts, your highest limit is $1,000. So even if you do get approved, they only going to give you up to your highest limit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's just things like that that people need to take into consideration as well when they're blending and the mixtures of things that they need to have on their credit.
You heard another message.
Yeah, I was just reading it, and the answer is yes, you can. You can do Rent Reporters while you get your credit repaired. But I'm not even really paying attention to them. I'm not, no disrespect to y'all. Like I'm literally like on a meeting with her. I just put this on here really for y'all just to catch the extra insight. But I'm not because I had a couple other people ask me questions and I wasn't not skipping over y'all, but I'm just working with Sunshine right now. So y'all can just catch the game. That's why I just put y'all here so y'all can overhear or
Oh,
answer your question.
okay, that's good. So I know for where I'm renting at now, they also will add what you're talking about onto your rent, but they don't go back.
Well, look, I'm gonna give you a gem. Use somebody that you know as your landlord. Because you don't, it's not, they're not going to contact the company. They're not going to send them anything. They're basically going off of what you send them, and then they're going to contact that person that you list as your landlord to verify everything that you put on there. So if you say that you're at this place that you're at now for 25 years, you make your mom your landlord, you fill out the paperwork, you put your mom's information, your mom's phone number. They're going to call your mom and say, "Hey, Miss Sunshine, has this lady been paying her rent for 25 years? Is it 1,500 a month? Is it on time? Yes. Okay, thank you." 30 days later, it's on your report for 20 years. That's how it is. Yes.
Wow.
That's a gem I just gave y'all. See, that's what I mean. So
Look,
everybody's
and
always
I sure
saying,
was gonna ask you for a golden nugget, but you didn't
there it
already
is
gave
right
it.
there.
There it is.
I just gave you it right there, And
Yeah, because here they only report it if you're on time and it starts when you purchase it, but they don't go back. Yeah, I
the
don't even
same
know.
way that you said the government doing what he doing in Sonic, man, we ain't trying to hear none of that. Y'all doing whatever we gonna do. We doing what we doing. Y'all giving us loopholes, we gonna go through them too. That's the thing. It's been there for years. It's just information that people have been lacking. I'm pretty sure he probably got people that he didn't put through Rent Reporters, and they using him as a landlord. You know what I mean? Like so, you know, the office is doing what they do. We're gonna focus on us. Don't worry about that old way anymore. Rent Reporters and Rental Karma, you can date back it. Just make sure the person that you list as your landlord is reliable, and they're gonna be able to back up everything that you put on your application.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've only been renting a year and a half now. And so yeah, that's a new thing that they offered here, and they only report. And this is at this apartment complex. They only report it if you're on time. If you're late, they don't report it. So it was a
Yeah.
way for them to boost your
Keep make
credit,
you
if you
make you
will.
stay make you stay on time. That's the way it was done for doing that.
Yeah, make you stay on time.
Like, oh, you pay on time, we report it to your credit. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
no worries because you can. And the thing is, I don't remember how much it costs off the top of my head, but I think it's like $25 to sign up for this to add this onto your credit report. And it takes about, like I said, 30 days to 2 months before it starts reporting. You can expedite it for extra like $100, and they'll do it within like a week. And then you can pay another $50 and add another property. So you can add multiple houses onto your credit report and have all this history and build your credit score up by having all the history from the rental properties.
So let me ask you this. Do you, because I saw this with someone, I think it was Tony Robbins and Grant Cardone. They were
Uh-huh.
talking about you pay people for their expertise to expedite it. So where you're giving us these gems, it might take me a month to try to be like, okay, now what he said, coming back to the video, taking my notes and trying to Google, go to YouTube University. But for those that are able to say, listen, I just need you to do it for me. You done told me all this stuff, but I'm still lost in the sauce a little bit. How
Mm-hmm.
do we, what does that process look like for you to counsel or to help or to service a client like me?
So as far as I'm assuming that you're speaking of maybe like my mentorship program. So I do mentorship, and that's more like of a one-on-one thing. Um, I offer 1 month, 3 month, and 6 month mentorship programs. Uh, and let's just say like for the 1 month, it's the 1 month mentorship is $1,000, and that's pretty much 30 days of me helping you do whatever you need to get accomplished. But within that, I'm going to fix your credit. I'm going to help you structure your business. I'm going to help you get funding, and be set up to get funding if you don't have a business within the first 90 days. Um, and then it's just whatever you else you want, but it includes 4 1 hour Zoom calls once a week. To discuss the progress and whatever else you have going on. And then you have my personal phone number, so you can text me, call me with anything that comes up prior to or before that next that meeting. The 6 month mentorship is a little bit more, but I will fly to you once a month wherever you are, and then work with you right there.
Okay. Now, where are you located?
I'm located in a few different places. Currently, right now, I am in Nevada, but I go between here, California, Delaware, and Philadelphia.
None of my states you mentioned. I'm over here in Iowa. Nobody comes to Iowa.
Wait, I'm trying to think. Was that Iowa? I was in Iowa. I was in Clinton, Iowa.
Okay.
Is it a place called Clinton? Am I right? Am I
I
lying?
only been here a year, so I don't know.
Oh,
I'm in Des
well, yeah, I
Moines
was there.
area.
It's because you guys are like by Chicago and Detroit and stuff, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. So I was over there. I was working with a guy at a community college out there. So I mean, again, I go where I'm needed, and this piggybacking on like your expertise. That's kind of like with the videos that we post on Instagram. It's like sometimes I have people come to me like, "Why'd you just told everybody like what to do? Like, why'd you just do that? Like, you gave." I'm like, I'm not really worried about it because like even like we talked earlier, even though like I said, everybody needs mucho dinero,
Hmm.
but I'm not pressed for it. So it's like, and when I can give the information out, because at the end of the day, people still going to come because they don't want to do it. Number one, they may be too busy. It may be taking them longer. So it's like it's just like giving out information, and then also just knowing that I'm like we're so good at what we do, we're still going to retain clients. I can still give out information in 1 minute, 2 minute videos on Instagram for free. I do YouTube videos for free, but I know people are still going to come back. And there was a book I was reading, or was it a seminar I was watching? Something, but it was based on a real story. Like they were in a ship or something, and like the Marines, they were about to die. Like, and nobody could fix this thing. Like there was like, or I don't think they were about to die, but I think something was like tragic about to happen, really tragic. And like they were calling all these different mechanics. This was like back in the day, and like trying to get these people to fix it. Nobody could fix it. They like, man, we're gonna, whatever, perish. They finally called somebody. He came, he looked at it, did what he did, fixed it in like 30 seconds. This is something people that were trying to fix this for days, like weeks, like and nobody, he came over there 30 seconds, fixed it. They like, oh, how much you gonna charge us? And I may say the wrong amount, but he was like, it was definitely a lot of money. Trust me. But he was like 26,000. They was like 26,000 for 30 seconds worth of work. He like, no. Six, he said six, he said what do you say, like $6 for that screw or whatever that I had to put in there. $26,000 and 500 for my expertise of all the schooling I had to go to know what bolt to pull, to know where to go, to know what to look for within 30 seconds.
So you're paying for the speed. That's what I was saying earlier. You're paying
exactly.
Because you don't have time, and if you have a business and you want to get, we're at the top of the year, so it's January 2025. If you have a business that you can't seem to really get the funding, because I know, like you're saying on the credit reports, if they don't match up, it's the same way with your EIN and your what you have registered at the state. If that doesn't match, you're going to get denied funding.
Yep.
If your information does not match,
and it's
so much, it's hard for an individual to keep up with it if it's not my expertise or your expertise. But that's why we have you as a subject matter expert to help us and tell us what we need to do to hit the ground running with the credit, with the business, whatever it is that we have a need of. And I got all of it: the credit, the business.
And the thing is that people think, you got to think that regardless of what, okay, so I don't know what the cost of the service is now, but say if we were charging, which we're not, but say if credit repair was $5,000, and somebody's like, okay, of course, a lot of people might not have that money, okay, but if you can somehow come up with it, and then you're gonna have a good credit score, 700-800 credit score within 30 days, be able to go get funding to start your business, grow your business, to make that $5,000 back that you just spent. You really didn't pay $5,000, because I know for a fact where people can go get a loan or a business credit or a personal credit, even if they don't have for minimum $20,000 minimum. So even if we were charging $5,000, which again we don't, the highest I think we were at like $1,500 for the service. I think it's down to like either $1,000 or $750. So even at $1,000, you're trying to tell me you pay $1,000, so now you can go to access hundreds of thousands to be able to change your life forever. You were paying $700 a month for a car. Now you're going to be able to save $400 a month because you only got to pay $200 or $300 a month because your credit is so good. You put $5,000 down deposit on a car. Now you can go get a better car with zero down and keep all that deposit money.
There you go.
You know what I mean? And
so it pays for itself. Yeah, it's paying for itself just like that.
Just like that. It's just like that. But people, a lot, like some people just don't see that part of it. They're like, oh, I just don't have the money. Which again, I'm not making excuses like, oh, everybody should have money. No, I get it. But I'm just saying, if it's ways for people to muscle up that, to just do it, because at the end of the day, and it's not just for me. If y'all have other people, friends, or companies that y'all work with, or people that were telling y'all to do this, utilize them. Just you can go through them as well. But I mean, I'm telling you what I know. I don't like to use the word expert, but I have great expertise. These are my books right here behind me. I'm a published author on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles as well.
What's the name of the book?
So I'll tell you about this one over here. This one is the one I just released. It's called Unlock Your Buying Power. And it's basically, the subtitles like the superpower you never knew you had. And it's basically just walks you through about credit. It tells you just everything about credit, like the utilization points and things like that, how high you should be on your credit, the mixture of credit, how many trades you should have, what you should do to boost your credit, things you should do to not hurt your credit. It's just a quick little guide. And then the other one is just a documentary, a biography about myself. But yeah, I mean, it's coming from me. I'm credible. I mean, another thing I have right here, this is the Forbes magazine. This was in November with Michael Dell on the cover. I was featured in there. That's me right there, LaMarcus Collins.
Okay, LaMarcus, we see you.
So, I mean, when I'm saying certain things, I'm not just speaking from a place of like things I don't know. Like even when Stephanie asked me, I said, hey, I can give you some insight, but this is something that I don't know. The things that I'm mentioning are the things that I do know, and I know that my company can help. We've helped thousands of people already, and even when you sign up with us, you're always a client because again, we offer business services. So you might get your credit fixed and then still come back. You want to get funding. You might want to start a business. The difference is we'll help you. Even like you said, Sunshine. People don't know what to do. We'll make sure you're because there's people that have been in business for 30 years. I worked with a client personally, been in business for 25 years. She had never got business funding, ever. She was using it, and she was still in business. It wasn't like she was falling out of business, but she was putting up her own money or taking personal loans out. And it's because when I got with her business wasn't structured properly. She didn't have her Dun and Bradstreet number. She didn't have this matching. When she first signed up, she was using a home address. So she had to go back and restructure things to get it right. And then, like I said, within 90 days, we got her funding. Now I didn't get her $1 million in funding because it takes time to get to, but she got funding strictly in her business name. You know what I mean? So hey, if you have any other questions, you can ask me. I don't want to talk too much.
Oh, you did good. That was all awesome information. Does anybody have any questions while we have Mr. Collins' expertise? Since he don't call himself an expert, I can call him an expert though.
You can call me whatever you want.
I'm gonna call you Mr. Collins. Close an account.
I just told one of my mentees that the other day. She called me Coach Collins. I said you don't gotta call me that.
I like that though. Coach Collins has a ring.
Because I don't know. I'm just here to help. I don't really need no coach in front of it or nothing like that. Or even a mister. I'm cool. You can call me Marcus, but whatever y'all want. But to answer her question on the screen, it depends. If well, wait. Let me double. See if you close an account, will it drop? Okay, so your score won't drop necessarily. Well, depends.
Depends, because they told me the other day
closes
to keep my
history open. Yeah, because of the history. That's the thing. If it's an old account with old age with age, you know what I mean. You don't want to close it. I mean, you want to keep it. Like you want to dispute it. Like say if it's an old account with late payments, because we can dispute and get accounts removed. Like if you have a late payment, we can get the entire account removed. You can too. Anybody, I'm just saying, like if you do credit repair, if you dispute, you can get an account with a late payment removed completely. Or you can also dispute and only get the late payment removed. So that way you don't lose the account history. Like so some people have late payments, they're like, I only had 2 late payments, but this account is 20 years old. You don't want to remove that whole account. You want to dispute and just remove the late payments. Mm-hmm. So it will hurt you if it's an old account with, a lot of age. It won't hurt you if it's a negative account. If that account is closed due to a charge-off or closed due to non-payment, closed due to collection, then removing it won't affect you at all. It'll help you.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. So I think you already gave us our nugget. Did y'all have any other questions? She says thank you.
You're welcome.
So I wanted to ask you, because I got my little call. Y'all see that conversation?
Oh, I like that. I like that.
I know I'm trying to be like the big boys, the big girls.
You're gonna be having a whole podcast set up one day.
Yes.
I can't wait. And don't forget to call me back for that too.
I'm gonna call you. I wanted to ask you because once we get older, we're wiser, because you were talking about when you were in college, you didn't check your credit and all this kind of stuff. But now that you are a wiser man, what would you tell your younger self? If you could go back and tell your younger self something, what would that be?
Oh, man. So I'm like a big person. Like I don't try to have any regrets and things like that, or think like, oh, I wish I should have did this. Because honestly, like, even though I wasn't a millionaire when I was 5 years old, right? So like everybody like they want to be rich. But I mean, like, and again, I lived in. Both my parents were around, but my mom raised us. I had two sisters, single mom house. I got more of a better relationship as I got older with my dad because growing older and becoming a man of God, you don't want to have like these grudges and like having animosity to people because again, you don't know what and again, me having these conversations with my mom and my like, I didn't know all the things that he was going. I just thought that he's just out there doing drugs. But at that time back then, and this just comes with being older, reading documentaries and seeing stuff like how drugs had a real hold on people. I can't fault my dad, just like I don't fault my mom for not having the internet to teach us more. Like all I can do is try to learn as much as I can, give it back to my peoples that help me, and then give it to my future people, like the people coming up, because I got access to the information now. So with all that being said, the one thing I would tell myself if I can go back is to number one, believe in God, because I didn't have a close relationship with God when I was a younger. Of course, I was baptized when I was young, but it wasn't until I was baptized in 2010 when I started taking it way more serious. And for people that don't know, when I in 2010 was this 2025, that's 15 years ago. I was 23 because I'm 38 now. So I wasn't a kid when I got baptized. I did get baptized, of course, when you're an infant or whatever, your mom does it. But I got baptized on my own as a 23-year-old, 24-year-old. At a good part of my life, I was on my way to playing semi-pro basketball. I did have a little run-in that I just was like trying to pray to everything. So I just was like, whatever, get me out of this. And I wanted to turn my life over. And so that's what I did. And I'm not saying I'm the best Christian or anything like that. But that's the thing I would say is I would have got with God earlier. And then besides that, it's just I would just all the faith and like all the motivation and all the positivity that I speak and have for myself now, I wish I would have had it then.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been, because I played sports. I was very good. People believed in me, but I didn't have as much belief. Like it's like right now, as much as it's nothing can stop me. I'm unstoppable. I'm indestructible. Like that's how my mindset is. And I'm not a billionaire. I don't have all the connections in the world, but that's just how I'm built now. And like I molded myself to be like that. And I just wish I had that younger. And it's hard because when you're young, somebody says like you ugly or you fat or you this, you take it to heart, but it's really just words. Like that's why it's like it's nothing, like that stuff don't matter. And I wish I was able to understand that, like not let outside stuff affect like the inside. Like, not let like do back to people what they do to you. Like even if it's disrespectful, don't take it for disrespect. Um, it got me way further in life, and like I said, God just has me in the palm of His hand at this point in life, and like it's just everything is like He's doing everything. I'm not gonna lie, like it looks like I'm doing it. It looks easy. I make it look easy. I don't know. It's Him though. I promise you.
I love that. I love that. And that's how I feel about if I could tell the little girl, Celena, something, it would be not to let those negative words, not to let the abandonment and the neglect and the abuse that you go through to really kind of mold you into who you are in those really formative ages,
Yeah.
or years, I should say. But when you become of age and you really say, God, I don't want to carry this anymore. I want to forgive the way that you forgave, and I want to be free from it all. Like that's a whole new level of freedom.
Yeah.
Like you don't even want to go back there anymore. And so just like with conversation with Celena, I think I was telling you before, there's a purpose here, and I want to walk in that purpose. And I know it may look easy sometimes, but it's a lot that goes into putting things together and getting your guests and communicating with your guests. But when you love what you do, you just love what you do, and you just ask God to go before you and make sure that you give Him the glory the way that you're doing tonight. You're like, this is not me. It may look like it's me, but it's
Yeah.
God working through me and using me at this for a time as such as this, because we need this information.
Yeah. Absolutely. And even when you're saying like just about the Selena and just that's why I feel as though it's just like we can't just not tell our people like certain things like you like for us hers you said she didn't have nobody there to love her or telling her things like that. I feel as though like we got to walk around, and this is not my words again. I don't know if I got this from my pastor or if I read it in the Bible. I don't know where I got this, what I'm about to say, but we got to, or actually I think I do know where I got it. It's from a book called How to Act Like a Genius. And the thing is, even that, like, I just try to do everything right. Like, I don't do everything right, I don't know everything. I just try to learn stuff. I just try to learn things, and when I learn, I'll try to do it the right way. And I just try to treat everybody right. Like I say, even if someone tries to disrespect me, I don't take it as disrespect, so it don't affect me. It don't. It like, and I try to tell people like, it's only disrespectful if you let it get to you. Somebody can call you out your name, whatever, but if you don't let it bother you, then it wasn't disrespectful. It didn't work. It like what they try to do didn't work because you kept smiling, you kept going. And so I try to walk around as a God amongst gods and look at everybody like that, whether they up or down, and not judge nobody. And and like you said, it's just a different freeing. It's just a different vibe. Like when you go through life, like, I don't have no issue. I don't get mad when people cut me off in traffic. I'm not, and it's just because I don't know what these people are going through, so I don't try to just like act crazy. Because again,
Mhm.
anybody could be going. They might be in the rush. Somebody's mom might have died. They going to a funeral. Who knows? So now I'm gonna make it worse because what? I'm gonna blow the horn at them. I'm gonna try to follow them and fight them. And so, I mean, just that part, just walk around as a God amongst gods, because you are a God too. Everybody's a God, but then just treat everybody else like that, and then you won't look at things as being bad. You won't look at them as being wrong. You'll look at them like they just in a place trying to get to a better place. They may like you may have arrived already at your place. They just trying to arrive at their place. So I don't look. That's how I look at stuff.
And I just want to say, with you saying you learn and then you try to do the right thing, that's called obedience. That's the reason that you're blessed the way that you are, because you're being obedient. Once you know better, you're doing better. Everybody don't operate like that. They can know this is what I need to do, and then they choose to do something else. And so, the Bible does tell us that obedience is better than sacrifice. So, yeah, that's exactly what you're doing, Coach Collins. You're being obedient.
I appreciate it. I appreciate
Yes.
it.
Well, I appreciate you. Did you have any final words? Because you gave us the golden nugget, and I did want to ask you. I want to make sure that I ask, because that's going to be a question that I ask all of my guests. What would you tell your younger self? So you have answered and been amazing on tonight, but I want to let you leave us with any final thoughts. If it's one thing, like if you want to say, oh yeah, you're right. You don't know what's going on in a person's mind. So yeah, so if you want to leave us with a thought, like if you didn't get anything else from me tonight, if you got this point, I'm gonna call it a success. Go ahead on. Tell us what you want to tell us.
Um. Well, I mean, if I can leave anything, I'll just say like, just try to help people. And that just goes back to our conversation before we got on here. Uh, it was just on my heart to do it. I am a little busy, but even while I just now, like I kind of was almost a little late. I almost was gonna tell you, I had something else to do, but it's just like just showing up. Like you got to stick to your obligations. If I want to be there for people and try to help them, and that was my ultimate goal. And so ultimately, if anybody got anything, like that's all I wanted. I just wanted to be here to help Sunshine, um, give advice out, and just try to build her platform or whatever she's trying to accomplish. That's ultimately my ultimate goal. Is really just to help you. Like I don't really have no motive. I didn't ask to put my name on here. I didn't ask for the email, anything. I just really wanted to come and just try to help you and do whatever I could do for you.
And I do appreciate that. And I know that in this season, God is connecting us with the people. Like you're just gonna attract who it is that you're supposed to be connected with. So we're connected for a reason. I do need your assistance beyond the tips that you gave us tonight. So you'll be getting another email from me because yes, sir, I do.
No problems. You got my information. You can hit me up at any time,
Come
Sunshine.
on to Iowa. Come on to Iowa. I don't
I'll
know.
be there. I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be there. I promise. I'm gonna come, and when I come, I'm gonna hit you like I'm in Iowa.
All right. Well, thank you so very much. I appreciate it. This was great.
No problem. I'll talk to you soon. You have a great evening.
You too.
Bye
All
bye.
right, y'all. Go share a smile and spread some sunshine.
Rest some sunshine, everybody. See y'all.
Bye.